Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hopefully you can hear me. Talk test 1 2. Test blah blah blah. Oh, my feet are cold. I gotta tuck my little feetsies up. Seriously, Slivers, it's always scary streaming from the Czech Republic because the timing is so different. The clock on my computer, I gotta pull my little feetsies up. The clock on my computer says 8:11 a.m. because that's what time it is back home for me. But here in the Czech Republic, it is 2:11 p.m. It's the afternoon. All of my coworkers are in a meeting right now, and I'm gonna stream for a couple hours. I'm gonna hang out. Just gonna check I'm assuming our AV sounds fine, or the mods would be yelling at me already. But just to double, triple check, things are okay. Music is still all right on this one. Oh my goodness, it is too early for that alkali. AV is lit? Okay, fabulous. Well, anyways, good morning, everybody. Hello, Chicken and Barvin, Alkali, and Bloody, of course. Also, Bill and Meryl and Nations and Slivers. Welcome on in, everybody. Barefoot, thank you for the 16-month resub. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to get used. Also, Decoy. Hello, Decoy. Hello. I'm gonna have to get used to talking like kind of down here, because if I talk any louder, it starts to echo and I start to bother people, and I'm trying really hard to not bother people. Hi, Tontarless and Cranky Hank, welcome on in. Thank you for joining me. I was getting ready to set this up, and I was telling Tom, I was like, you know, put me in a spot where I won't bug anyone, where I'll be out of the way, because I don't want to bug anybody. And Tom looked me dead in the eyes and was like, yeah, you do. Be honest, you do want to bother people. And I've never felt so seen in my entire life. So yeah, he put me in the pool. That's where I am right now. I am in this lime green recessed area that, I don't know, is used for activities, and apparently I am the activity this week. We're in the literal lobby. So yeah, I'm gonna try to talk down here. So hopefully that doesn't translate to my energy, because normally when I stream, I talk really loud and that gets me, like, that's part of the energy. So hopefully that still translates, but maybe it'll just be a little bit cozier. We'll see. Well, yeah, good morning, everybody. If you're new here, welcome to the CGE office. I have been here once before with a less nice setup, so hopefully this looks a lot nicer than the last time I was here. In the Czech Republic, because that was very early on. The first time I came, which was the last time I think I streamed from the Czech Republic, which was almost a year ago. And if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, the stream has gotten a lot better in the last year. Aw, thank you, Chicken. I appreciate that. I'm glad that they're special enough that you wake up early for them. It's so early, but seeing that you went live got me out of bed and made breakfast and tea. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I helped you be productive this morning, Foglight. That's awesome. How are you feeling over there? I'm doing good. I'm a little jet lagged, but honestly not as jet lagged as, I'm gonna scooch everything back. This might sound terrible for a second. It wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. Well, there's a Stepan. That's if you like the graphics on our Twitch channel, that's the artist who does them. Also, it looks like the meeting is getting out, so you might see a lot of people behind me. But yeah, just the quick and dirty explanation. I'm in the CGE office in Prague. There are technically 2 CGE like hubs, one in Prague, which is a really big one, and then there's a smaller one in Brno that houses our digital department. So I'm in Prague for a couple of days before we head out to an event called Czech Gaming, which will be starting on like Wednesday or something, which is our big internal playtesting event. And if all goes according to plan, you will also be coming to Czech Gaming. I'm going to try to duplicate this setup out in the Czech wilderness for Czech Gaming, assuming the internet is good enough. Wait, no one wearing shoes? Yes, that is a Czech thing, or at least a CGE thing. I am also not wearing shoes. I have little socksies on. Hi, V. So that's something that everyone does. You'll see some people have like indoor shoes, like Reggie's wearing Crocs, but it is shoes off inside. We also might have some kiddos waking up soon now that the meeting is out. Hi, Boise, it's good to see you. Welcome on in. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, I apologize if you hear any crying in the background. We have actually like an in-house like caretaker who helps people who have kids take care of them during the day. There's Tom. How are you doing, Boise? It's good to see you. Hi, Paya. Hello. I'm sad you're not here today. You could have hung out with me on stream. Exactly, when in Prague. Hi, Jeremiah Blov, good morning, thank you for joining us. It's not me crying, gladly. But yeah, so there's lots of interesting things that I've learned. They're all staring at me. The nice thing about this setup is I can see if anyone wants to come up and scare me from behind. I can see them, so they can't spook me. But yeah, you should be able to see some folks walking around in the background. Maybe we'll have, when someone gets bored, they'll come and hang out and chat with us. But yeah, I'm gonna basically be hanging out. I might do some work if stuff pops up, but thought we'd just hang out. We could do a little Q&A if we want. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good morning. What time is it for everybody locally right now? Tom, oh, it's 100%. Well, I was setting up and Peter, our CEO, spooked the hell out of me because I wasn't looking at my camera, and he came over, he just said, wow, and I jumped, and I'm really glad / sad that didn't catch on stream, because he got me real good. I got air with that spook. Yes, Jeremiah, this is the CGE office. So again, as I was saying, I got interrupted by my own thoughts. Oh, we might have a crying kiddo. Hey, bear with us. This is the main CGE office in Prague. Oh, poor guy, waking up from a nap. Ejafit, hello, good morning, welcome, welcome. Our winter storm is on track for tomorrow. Ooh, I hope you are like all stocked up on everything that you need, Slivers. Winter storms can be fun if you are properly prepared for them. I got interrupted by my own thoughts. It is hard to stream in the middle of an office with a bunch of things going on and being off my ADHD medication. So if this seems more scattered than normal, I apologize, but also that's half the charm. So yes, to finish what I was saying, this is the CGE office in Prague. This is where 90% of the company works and operates. I guess I've said we do have our CGE digital office in Brno. So currently that's where Paya is right now, because she hasn't moved to Prague yet, and that's where Vlada is, and all the people who make, like Adam, who's been on the stream once, that's where like all the digital people hang out, to my knowledge. And then everyone who works on the analog stuff hangs out here. Also, we have new music today, so I'm sorry if some of the songs are a little weird. I'm trying to find good playlists that I like, but hopefully it's nice and fresh and new, and because we're all kind of sick of the old songs we had on this channel. Are you going to play games while you're there that you're looking forward to? I am going to play so many games. I'm very, very excited. So I'm probably not going to play any games today and tomorrow, because these are my days to catch up on jet lag and sort of get my bearings. And then once we go to Czech Gaming, which is, as I mentioned, the internal playtesting event, that is going to be like literally I'm going to get paid to sit down and play board games 8 hours a day for like either for like research to play other games that were like successful this year, and to play test games that we're thinking about publishing this year, which I'm very excited about. There's a game that we are publishing, but that hasn't been announced, that I haven't played yet, because the prototype has been locked in the Czech Republic. It has not left the country. So I'm going to be trying that at Czech Gaming, which I'm very, very excited for. There's a brand new game coming sometime TM, I can't say. I'm gonna try really hard not to spoil anything while I'm here, but no promises. I'm gonna have to do the thing that I did last year at Czech Gaming, because I've streamed actually from Czech Gaming before. It'll be a different location this time, because we pick a different hotel every time. But last year I streamed from Czech Gaming. So you can actually go back if you're kind of curious. If you can't make the stream, later this week, but you want to kind of know what Czech Gaming's like, you can always go back and watch that VOD from last year. But what I had to do before that stream happened is I had to go around with like printer paper and cover all the copies of Starship Captains we had, because Starship Captains hadn't been announced yet, and same with Deal with the Devil. And so you'll see if you watch that VOD, there's a bunch of Starship Captains shaped boxes. Like you can see the blue, like the Starship Captains blue, with like paper taped over it that's like totally not a new game, and I'm gonna have to do that again this year, because we have prototypes that are far enough along that they have art for them and they have like the name on the box, and we can't have that. I'm not gonna get fired for accidentally leaking a new game, hopefully. Hello. So I'll have to cover them all, keep it all secret. Good morning, Silver Fear, it's good to see you. Welcome to the Czech Games Edition office. Hello. Jeremiah says, it's beautiful. I've always imagined game design offices to be Google-inspired bricks in 2 colors and a bunch of shelves and toys. Honestly, I mean, I will say, this office is definitely the outlier because I have worked in a board game office before for a much smaller company, which is still nice. I feel like in general, if you're a board game company that is big enough to have an office space, it's usually really creative and fun, but like this is beyond anything that I know of existing in the board game world in general. That's one of the things I really like about CGEs. They're really good about creating, like they're really good to their employees, so that there was a big priority for CGE to create like a really nice space for their employees. I would imagine even with some of the other comparable sized board game companies that we've got the coolest office. I will go on record as saying that. I mean, we have this tree is alive. This is a real tree. There's also, I can turn you guys, there's a waterfall over here. And then also, that's the big board game room that I would have streamed in there, but it's super, super echoey in there. But yeah, no, we have the coolest office. There's a trampoline downstairs. I did a walk around stream last time I was here. Like I walked around and showed everyone the office. So you can kind of get some more insights into the other angles of this office if you go back and watch that VOD. But yeah, no, I love it here. We did have a problem this morning where we had no running water. So this waterfall was really dried up and sad, but now it's moving again and it's beautiful. The trampoline is the best. I love the trampoline. I'm really excited because our new coworker, who's also my friend, Steven, is coming to the office for the very first time tomorrow morning. And it's really cool to show new people the office because this is like genuinely breathtaking for like the board game world, you know? But yeah, no, it's interesting that you mentioned you always assumed it would be Google inspired because the way I describe this office to like my friends and family is I basically say it's like the Google of board games because that's how it feels. It has a lot of those like quality of life things that, you know, you hear about Google having, you know, because we've got like a trainer who helps people work out and like we have the in-house person who helps take care of kids and stuff, and that feels very much like what I've heard about the Google office, but we do it in a more board game style, like having giant dice. Foglight says, I'm excited for you. I want to play CG games all day, even if I don't get paid. Hell yeah. This is my ideal board game environment. There's grids to one side at least. Yeah, no, there's lots of vegetation and stuff. That's another big thing in like the CGE sort of culture, I guess, for lack of a better word, is lots of like environmentalism. So downstairs outside, there's actually like a garden that's made a lot of progress since the last time I was here. I believe in theory in the future it'll grow like herbs and veggies and stuff. That actually is very similar, Jeremiah Blob, to what I made the question of the day today, which is tell me what in a magical hypothetical universe, what would your like ideal board game room look like? Because we have, as I panned over there, that board game room over there has like everything you'd ever want. It's got a ton of like board game tables and like literally a million board games. But like the one thing I really wish was in there was some sort of snack machine. So I'm officially turning in my report about that, is that there's a lack of snacks in there. Honestly, if it wasn't for those boxes, I would have assumed the background was a stock background filter. Yeah, it kind of has that. It kind of has like stock office photo vibes a little bit. I can definitely see that. Yeah, the people walking around in the background should hopefully tell people that it's that it's not fake. But I can definitely see how you think that. All right, Alkali, I'm ready. Alkali says, imagine a fantasy tavern and a band that would play aesthetically fitting music for a game. Look, a live band? I love that. That would be my ideal game room. Yes, those vibes, 100%. I desperately want, when I have a ton of money, which I will probably never have, but if I ever did, if I won the lottery, or God, I don't know, randomly found myself by dubious means in the possession of a lot of money, I want to have a TTRPG room, even more than I think a board game room. I mean, they would double as the same thing, but I would very much want like a tavern vibe room, you know, for playing TTRPGs in. Because I feel like TTRPGs necessitate more of that atmosphere than board games do. So that's my dream. Of course, with a snack machine, obviously. The G in CGE stands for Getty Images. That's awesome. Teleported, my future board game room would have teleported so people could easily come and play. Aw, slivers. I love that. I love that. Ah, yes, thank you for that quote, Alkali. That is iconic. But yeah, I figured today we can just kind of chill and hang. We can do a little Q&A if people want. And then I'm probably gonna grab food. I've got a meeting in a couple of hours, so it won't be a terribly long stream. But yeah, I want to just vibe and say hi to you guys. I want to update you on travel stuff. I also want to apologize for missing the Thursday stream. That situation is still in the yikes zone. Oh, this is actually not Reggie. It's someone who looks like Reggie from afar, but it's not Reggie. Reggie's wearing pink today. Magic Moose Moo, welcome on in. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the CGE office. It's good to have you. But yeah, no, the Thursday stream issue was basically I sat down to stream and my computer just would not turn on. Like there was no lights, there was nothing. And I panicked, of course, because like my entire job and pretty much my entire life is on that computer. So it was a very scary moment. And I, as most of you know, live in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and the nearest Best Buy is like an hour plus away from me. So very scary. And eventually I was like, I don't want to go all the way to Best Buy, especially because like I've taken laptops to Best Buy before, but I don't know if anyone has any experience with like bringing towers to Best Buy, but like I don't trust. So I started looking up like local computer guys, and there was a hometown computer shop that I brought it to, which apparently has closed since COVID, and so now it's the hometown guy who runs a computer store out of his car. So I literally brought like my very nice PC that CGE bought me. Like literally went to a roller rink parking lot with like my tower in my trunk, and this dude pulled up and I was like, hey, are you Hank? He was like, yeah. And I was like, you here to pick up my PC? And he's like, yeah. And then I just put it in this guy's car. And luckily he's been very communicative. To my knowledge, he has not run off with it, but I definitely had this moment where I was like, I was in my car and I was watching him drive away and I was like, huh, that man could just, there's nothing stopping that man from just leaving with my PC. But he's been in touch with me. He actually said he fixed it initially. He got it to boot and everything, and then I brought it home and I had the same issue again, so he is now back with my PC trying to fix it again. He got it to start kind of on a whim. Like when I talked to him, he was like, yeah, I don't really know what I did. And I was like, I don't like that answer. And then lo and behold, of course, I got home and it didn't start. And I was like, yeah, that's what happens when you can't tell me what you fixed. So it's back in Hank's truck getting fixed. So fingers crossed that when I get home, he will figure out, hello. There you go. That's Reggie chat. So hopefully when I get home, it will be all fixed and everything. They're going down into the dungeon basement. So yeah, hopefully I have some really fun streams lined up for when I get home, but just so everyone knows, there's a chance that if my PC's still not working, I won't be able to stream. But yeah, I wanted to apologize for missing that Thursday stream. I was really looking forward to playing some Dwarf Romantic. I really missed that game, so maybe I'll reschedule that for when I get home, because I was really looking forward to it. Yeah, the CG spooky, that's the spooky puzzle dungeon. Yeah, exactly, it's real. Cosmos may not have a spooky puzzle dungeon, but we have a spooky puzzle dungeon. Oh my god, Angie, hello, good morning, thank you for joining us. Sorry, I got on a tangent about my PC story. I'm behind on chat. Naughty, hello, good morning. Nino Mom, it's very nice to meet you. Welcome on into the Czech Games Edition community, and welcome to the Czech Games Edition office, which is where we are this morning. Yes, everyone does have their shoes off here. So you're gonna see a lot of fun socks. I was also looking forward to the Chill Dwarf Romantic after my midterm yesterday. I'm sorry. I hope your midterm went well. Did you feel good about it? Yeah, I really wanted it too. I wanted to kind of get my, I don't know, I wanted to like touch base before I traveled and everything. It almost felt kind of like a good luck ritual, like talking to you guys before I left, and then not being able to, like, it was already scary because my computer wasn't working. There's a Lenny. Yeah, this is kind of like the Pokemon version of streaming. Catch however many CGE employees you recognize behind me throughout the day. I don't know, but it sounds so cool whenever you say welcome to the Czech Games office. I like saying it, it's fun. It's definitely like, I don't know. It's still weird for me too, because I've been here before, but it's only my third visit to the Czech Republic. Only my third visit here, and every time, like, it's definitely, it might sound weird, but it's a very, kind of grounding experience to be here, because I work from home all the time, and sometimes I'm like, are all these people in my head? Because that's where they exist 90% of the time. It's occasionally on a Zoom call, but mostly in my head. And it's nice to come here. It's also kind of, it helps remind me sort of like what I am doing and how like cool it is. Because, you know, I changed companies, went from Resonim to CGE, but I'm still in my room doing the same nonsense on the internet. And sometimes I don't quite realize how far I've come, and coming to a place like this is a board game office, this is where I work, is helpful for me, because sometimes I am almost like self-deprecating to a fault, where I'm like, I just do goofy things on the internet, but it's like, I work here, this is pretty cool. So it's nice to come here inside and sort of, you know, get grounded, and also to see everybody. It's anyone who works from home can understand, it is very hard to like have the same sort of efficiency and relationship with your coworkers when you're abroad, or when you're work from home, and it's even worse when you work from home and abroad. Like that, I've talked about this before on stream. I have like 2 hours of overlap where I'm awake and my Czech coworkers are awake, so it's why everything takes so long, because like I will wake up and respond to a message that was from last night, and by the time I respond, they're asleep. So it's like this cycle of everything. If you've ever tried to get anything out of me work-wise and it takes forever, that is a big reason why, because typically I have to run stuff by somebody here, and by the time I run it by them, they're asleep, and then by the time they respond, I wake up, and it's like this whole thing, you know? Welcome on in, Big Terp, and more games, please. It's good to see you. Welcome on in. So you're in the Czech metaverse. So many 3D humans. Welcome on in, more games, please. Ross, how are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Angie says, imagine we'd have reacts for people. Oh my God, yeah, if you could type something in chat and have like a Pokeball like pop up on screen and like shoot and like catch somebody, that'd be really cute. That's Kuba. That's actually the brother of the designer of Underfalling Skies. They both work here. I feel like Kuba has never been on stream before. That's Kuba. He does like our show planning isn't the right word. He does like our internal events. So like Czech Gaming is his thing. He's the one who finds the hotel room. He's the one who like makes sure that there's no peanuts in anything for me. He does all that like logistical stuff for Czech Gaming and summer camp and prototypes. Yes, thank you, Angie, which is really cool. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm missing so much stuff. I'm just so happy people are here. It's so weird streaming this early in the morning, but it's also nice because I get to chat with the European friends a little bit more than I normally do. Oh, thank you. Wait, Alkali, I missed your kind words. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's definitely, I don't know. Yeah, it helps me. Coming here helps remind me. It's like you do a cool thing. This is a cool place to be, because you can definitely get in your own head. I think when you work from home. And you're like kind of the only one who works from home, because like yes, the rest of the US team does, but like in compared to how many people work here, you can feel kind of like on an island. So it's really nice that they fly out the US employees a couple of times a year, partially, you know, to go to Czech Gaming and be helpful, but also for us to like help us integrate a little bit with like the Czech culture and the rest of the Czech staff, because you can feel sometimes like a lot of that distance just by nature of working from home. I would love to come to Brno. Angie, next time I come to the Czech Republic, I should, because Angie's one of the people who is in the Brno office. Next time I come to the Czech Republic, I will come to the Brno office, but it's, as far as I know, it's not as pretty as this. Look at this background, it's beautiful. It's like you're rising up from the depths. You're just like... Let's see. Oh, Nido Mom says, yes, toes must breathe and our feet must feel the ground beneath us. Yes, I agree. It's actually really nice to have no shoes on. I hate shoes in general, so it's nice that it's a Czech thing to have no shoes on inside. Franzenek, it's good to see you. Is that how you say it? I feel like I haven't said your name out loud in a while, so I'm sorry if I messed that up. Oh, that's Fonda. Hi, Fonda. Welcome. I was like, that looks like a very Czech name, and it is. It's Fonda. Welcome. Namor, it's nice to meet you. Welcome on in. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the CGE office in Prague. I hope you're having a lovely morning. What else did I miss? I have to scroll. Barb says, what type is all the CGE staff? I think Felix is a lightning type. Oh wait, that's cute. Oh, I've never asked. Those are employees, by the way. Okay, cool. I'm never sure, you know? I know Fonda was an employee, but I didn't know Namor was an employee. I had an inkling because I'd been following for a long time, but you never know, it's the internet. Yeah, what is everybody's Pokemon type? I think I'd be fairy, but I'm also not Pokemon literate enough to tell you why. I just think that they have the prettiest colors. Have a good lurk, Barefoot. Thanks for hanging out. You'd be grass or fairy. Interesting. I'm trying to think, what are all the Pokemon types? I feel like Barb is fire for sure. I literally just went to look up what Pokemon type is Barb. That's not a helpful inquiry. Pokemon types? Ooh, wait, I want to be dark. Wait, that's cooler. Oh, maybe I'm like psychic. I don't know. What are all the types? Give me like a chart. No, give me something like visual. I don't want to read. Come on, Google, you should know this about me by now. Okay, all right, I got a list. I don't know what I'd be. Foglight would be ghost. Yeah, I can see that. No, Bill, you're not normal type. You don't mean it. Vlada would definitely be psychic. You are 100% correct. Chat, you're gonna have to help me decide what to order for lunch in a minute. I'm gonna get some lunch. It's so weird. There's one of the, I think the biggest like culture shock things for me about coming to the Czech Republic is how cheap and prevalent like food delivery is, at least here in this area. I don't know if it's different in like other areas of like, obviously the Czech Republic. We're in Prague, so it's really easy. Oh hell yeah, Bloody Line, for sure, Dark. But like everyone in the office always orders food for lunch. Like unless you bring something from home, which some people do, but I feel like at least every time I've been here, it's like the group's like, all right, what are we ordering? And everyone just orders food, which in the US, you would go broke in like a second. Like Uber Eats is so expensive. Everyone I know in my life who makes decent money, but is like still struggling financially, a big part of it is they just like spend a lot of money on food delivery because it's so expensive in the US. Here it's like $8. If you want a sandwich and you want it ordered, you could just spend $8 and then it comes, and that's wild. That would be like $15, at least where I live in the US. Reggie would be fairy type? Yeah, for sure. She definitely fairy type. No, I see you as dark, Bloody Line, for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna order some food. I had the worst experience last night when I got in. So I got in at like 6:30-ish p.m. last night, and I went to the flats where they have like the foreign employees stay when they come to visit, and I ordered food, and I just was so tired and I was on autopilot, and I just ordered like pasta to my flat, and I just like typed it into like the delivery service here, and right as the guy's pulling up, no egg. I did not get eggs. I'm gonna probably get eggs for lunch though. And right as the guy pulled up, I got the notification, and it was like, your food is arriving at work. And I realized that I had the CGE office as my delivery spot because I've never not gotten food here. I've never had food at like the apartments. And so I am like standing outside the apartment, like ready to get the food, but I'm like not dressed warm because I was expecting to just pick up food and bring it inside. and it was like, the food is arriving at insert CGE address. And I was like, oh no. So I run, which it's not far, but it's far enough, and it is still winter-ish in the Czech Republic. And I'm like in my pajamas, like running down the street, trying to get this delivery. I look absolutely nuts. And of course, the guy calls me. He's like, where are you? Well, no, he's not like, where are you? He's all in Czech. And I'm like, hi, I don't speak English. And then all I get is Czech back, and I'm like, heck. So I finally track him down. He was really sweet about it. He was like, oh, you know, sorry, I don't speak English. And I was like, sorry, I don't speak Czech. And I got my food, and it was all fine, but it was very, very embarrassing. But then I locked myself out of my apartment. It got worse from there. So I run back with like my food in my pajamas. And of course, I still struggle with the doors in the Czech Republic, because there's something wrong with them. Like, they're not normal doors, and I will stand by this. There is something wrong with them. I like this story very much. Yes, Angie, still. I didn't know you spoke Czech. To you too, Ross. And it was like, he clearly said something, because he answered the phone. It wasn't just like, hello, where are you? He spoke for like maybe 20 seconds and then stopped, and I was like, hi, sorry, I don't understand. He clearly was like explaining something to me, and I was like waving arms like at every car. The way I eventually found him was I waved my arms at every car I saw, made really awkward, intense eyes contact with everyone, showed my phone and waved my arms, and finally I did get my phone. But it's always very stressful. I've only had like a couple of Volt drivers who I could like talk to, and it's always very stressful because like where the CGE office is like, it's a very new building, so a lot of GPS services like don't have it in yet, so a lot of the drivers will get confused when they come here. And normally when I'm in the office, I just hand the phone to one of my Czech coworkers and I'm like, can I food, please help. But I was alone last night. Oh, well, I was alone with Eleni, who also doesn't speak Czech, so it was a nightmare. Anyways, to wrap up my hellish experience, I ran back to the apartment, and so here's what happened. Again, this all is wrapped up in a bow of Czech doors are very weird. So what happened, the doors in the apartment, I struggled with them last time. For folks who were here last year, they know exactly kind of what is wrong with these doors, but they have keys and keyholes, but it's not like doors that I'm used to where you unlock and then it's unlocked and you just push it. You have to unlock and then you've got to like jab it. You've got to like pull or push or something and then turn. Like there's an art to it. It feels like I'm lock picking every time I open a door here. Anyways, so what happened was I was like, okay, Eleni, I'm gonna go get my food. And she was like, oh, just keep the door downstairs, because there's 2 doors that are involved in getting to my apartment. There's the one in the door that's like to my apartment, and there's one in the lobby. And she was like, oh, I'll open the door when you come back up. Just keep the lobby door open, because that door can be really hard, and like, just leave it open. So I leave it open, but then of course, I have to run to the office. So by the time I come back, someone has left and closed the door. So that door is closed, and I'm like, oh, okay. I try, I cannot get it open for the life of me. And I text Eleni, I'm like, hey, Eleni, I can't open the door, it got closed. I'm in my pajamas, I'm cold, please some help. And then of course, I realized, or she texted me, she's like, I can't come get you because I'm locked in the apartment, which is a fun quirk also about Czech doors, wherein you need a key to open them from the inside, which feels like feels like a safety hazard. Like that feels illegal. That feels like that shouldn't be allowed. So what I had done is I left the apartment and I locked it, took the keys and left. So Lenny was locked in the apartment, unable to come help me with the lobby door. And I'm like down in the lobby in my pajamas with like pasta leaking out of this like styrofoam thing, a bottle of wine under my arm, and I'm just like crying. I'm so tired. And this is a curse. I didn't know. Angie, listen. In the US, the door doesn't lock unless you lock it. I have since learned this morning that all you have to do is close it. and it locks from the outside but not the inside, but if you lock it from the outside, it locks both. I did not know that. That is not how our doors work. So I locked it because I was like, Eleni's in there. I'll lock it, right? To keep her safe. I kept her too safe because she got locked inside without the key. Oh my God, hi Svan. No, I don't need any of my coworkers to hear this story because it's really embarrassing. So finally, I just popped a squat outside with my little bottle of wine and my takeout, waiting, and finally someone came in. Finally someone came into the lobby, so I got in the lobby door, and now I'm upstairs at my apartment door. I have the key. I am the only one who could open the door. Eleni is locked inside. She cannot help me. So I'm sitting there fiddling with it. And finally, like, I unlock it and I'm trying to push and she's like, no, like you unlock and I will deal with the rest. So I unlocked it and she was able to do the like jingle jangle push pull thing. And we got in and I ate my food, but it was very stressful. And I'm just never gonna lock my door because I don't understand. I don't understand. For anyone, for like Ross or anyone else who's European, is this a European thing or is this a specifically Czech thing? Because I swear I have been other places in Europe and I have not been this, what's the word? Door dumb. It's an EU thing? Okay. Because like, the concept is terrifying to me that you could accidentally lock someone in a room. Why does it lock from the inside? That's so bizarre. That's so bizarre. Oh, you're not in the EU anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that, I forgot. I'm door challenged. There you go, that's the word I was looking for. Doors versus me is always bad. Like, I have a traumatic door opening story from every time I visited the Czech Republic, and this visit is sadly no different. No different. You can't accidentally lock anything. You need to actually want to lock it instead of close it. Yes, but still, the fact that you could intentionally lock someone inside is so scary. Unfortunately, we don't have video this time. Yeah, if you scroll back far enough in the CGE Discord, there is video evidence of me not being able to open the door last time, because what happened was last time was I went with Eleni, because we usually share one of the flats, and I went to open the door and I couldn't do it. And so of course she pulls out her phone and starts videoing me because she thinks it's hilarious. But like, at least at that time, I had Eleni there to help me. There was something so scary about like, I'm on the outside with the key. She's inside, locked in, cannot help. Because I was like prepared before I left. I was like, okay, Eleni, like, I just want my food. I don't want to get locked out like last time. Like, let's have a plan. And she was like, yeah, I'll be in here. I'll let you back in. You just don't close the lobby door. Everything will be fine. Every single element of that plan, I messed up. At every point where something could have gone wrong, something went wrong. Oh my goodness. I'm very glad no one like called the police on me running through the street in my pajamas. Waving my phone and screaming at every car. I'm very grateful for that. Bravery is Ray's worst enemy. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's very true. Yeah, luckily I'll order lunch here and I could always hand the phone to someone who speaks Czech and ask for help. But yeah, I'll probably order lunch in a little bit. It's kind of weird because I missed the group lunch train, which was, 3 hours ago. I don't know. I'm on the fence if I should push through till dinner time because it's 3 p.m. here, right? Like I had my breakfast at 11 a.m. kind of when I woke up because I was jet lagged, so I just like slept. And now it's like kind of late for lunch if I want to get on a rhythm, but I also don't want to be hungry. No one likes to be hungry. I will eat. No, I'm not exercising? No. That sounds awful. You have a terrible time. I will be here. So they're off to what I believe is kettlebell training that they do on, what day is it? Is it Monday? I think Mondays and Wednesdays maybe? Yeah, they're off to exercise downstairs. As I mentioned, we have like a not in-house, but like a guy who comes a couple times a week to weightlift with us. Yes, that was our CEO who just went downstairs. Hi, Steven, you're gonna be here soon. This is a sneak peek for what you get to see tomorrow. Yeah, I agree, Foglight. Kettlebell training does not a fun Sunday make. Oh my god, can you imagine if I was like, all right, I'll be right down. I just bring my whole streaming setup down with me. Yeah, I will order food. I might have more like coffee and like a little sandwich. Not like a big meal, but I might get another bagel, which sounds pretty tasty right now, not gonna lie. Okay, Angie, thank you. That is very validating. Angie says, but the lobby door is terrible in that building. It's not just you. Thank you. That makes me feel a lot better. Meryl says, but yeah, when you lock the door from the outside and there's someone inside that does not have a key, then yes, they will be trapped. That is terrifying. That feels like that shouldn't be a legal thing that is allowed to happen. Like, someone must have like gotten trapped unintentionally at some point. I'll scroll through the like check mystery archives or something. Someone who's never been heard from again and they were accidentally just locked in by a dumb American. My flight leaves in 4 hours. Congratulations, everyone. This is Steven's first time, not just to the Czech Republic, but the first time like abroad in general, which is very exciting. So now, Steven, you've heard my word of warning. Careful with the doors, because they'll get you. Just put them in your background so we can laugh at them. That sounds fun to me. Random thought, OMG, in a week and a half, the Switch will be 5 years old. Oh my God, don't say that. Don't say that. Oh my God, I brought my Switch with me traveling, and it is the best. Like, I know I'm not like a diehard Nintendo person, but man, a portable, like, handheld like console, not like a DS or something, but like a real console that can play like real games is amazing. Oh my God, I played so much Persona 5 on the plane. It was awesome. It was the best. Well, also, I didn't have a choice because my like TV on my flight broke, because of course it did. So I was very, very bored. But I was able to kind of peep. One of my favorite things to do on a plane is to watch what other people are watching, because it's like an advanced form of people watching. You know, you watch people watching TV next to you on a plane. But yeah, no, Switch was a lifesaver on the plane. I don't know, Steven, if you're listening, do you have something fun to do on the plane? Because boy howdy, 8 hours is a long flight if you've got nothing to do and your TV's broken. Oh, it's a bit cold out there. It could be goulash time. Oh, I'm not gonna get goulash today because there's gonna be lots of goulash at Czech Gaming for sure. Welcome on in, the weary warlord. Warlord. It's nice to meet you. Welcome on into the Czech Games Edition Twitch channel. Why can't I talk? And also welcome to the Czech Games Edition office here in Prague. It's very nice to meet you. Their question is, how do you go about teaching games to new players? Ooh, that's a great question. Death from Dover, thank you so much. Well, first of all, welcome to the Czech Games office, Death from Dover, and thank you for that gift sub to Kamala. I really appreciate that. Welcome on in. Happy Monday? It's Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday. Happy Monday. So for your question, also, anyone else who has questions, feel free to ask. We're just chit-chatting. So if you have any questions, board gaming related or otherwise, I'm here. I'm here to chit-chat with y'all. But the Weary says, how do you go about teaching games to new players? So this answer is kind of twofold. So I have the way that I go about teaching games, and then there's also sort of like the CGE Bible about how to teach games, which I actually think is a really interesting conversation. You kind of stumbled upon a very interesting question. So we'll start with the CGE style. So CGE has a very specific way that we go about teaching our games, and typically that involves slow rolling the rules over the course of a teach, and it's something that we have like in our documents. So whenever we go to a show, right, like Gen Con or Essen or something, we have people who we hire, we call them imps, who teach our games to con attendees, because we don't have enough staff to man that, because we get these really big rooms. And one thing that's always in all of those documents is to make it super clear at the top of a teach that like you will not have all of the information up front. Like, we are going to teach you as you go, because a lot of other companies will kind of give you everything up front and then let you go. Whereas with CG, we like to kind of teach through showing. So like when we teach Arnak, when we sit down to teach people Arnak, we have like a set way that we go about it, where like We will say, here's the goal, here's like, the overview of kind of what you're doing, why you're doing it, now let's play. And you'll give it to the first person and you'll explain with the first person, okay, let's have you go to a dig site. And that is how you explain the dig site. You don't explain that before you start, and then maybe the next person goes up the research track, and then the next person, there's an actual order that I don't have memorized anymore, and then the next person will buy an item, and so for the first round of Arnak, you'll tell everyone what to do, and through that you will unfold all of the different rules, and then after that you let them go. And that's a very, like, I don't know, CGE specific style that we have. Of course other people do that too, but that's like a thing here. It's like, that's how to best teach board games, is to teach through playing as opposed to word vomiting a ton of rules, especially because our games tend to be very rules heavy, and that can be way too overwhelming for new folks. Yeah, like a tutorial turn. Yeah, exactly. Which some people don't like because they're like, oh, let me play the game. But it's like, you will have a better experience this way. And so that's one of the reasons why we always preface it at the start of all of our teaches, because it's not something people are usually used to. And so, because oftentimes the most annoying thing is people will always be like, okay, but what about this? But what about this? But what about this? And you have to be like, we will get to it. Just trust me. We will get to it. You'll learn as you play. Another actually interesting thing that we do at shows that other people don't is we almost always, not without fail, but most of the time we do full teaches of all of our games, which is something that I really value and I'm grateful for, because a lot of companies will try to churn out as many demos as they can. They will give you, like, here's the 5-minute taste, now go buy it or don't buy it. And at CGE, it's like, do you want to play all of Through the Ages before you buy Through the Ages? Sure. Like, you will sit down for 3 hours and play Through the Ages, which I think is really cool. I think it's a very, what do you call it? Very honorable thing. I think that, like, we want to make sure you like it before you buy it. And the way to figure out if you like it is if you play the whole thing. Oh, it's Inception. Hello. Playing Through the Ages. My favorite thing is that everybody plays CG games. Like, everyone, when they're at lunch, has, like, Through the Ages out on their phone, which I think is really cute. That was not Through the Ages? Wait, what was it? That was a secret? That looked like Through the Ages. It definitely was Through the Ages. Unless there's a secret I'm not aware of, which is possible. They might be keeping things from me, which is very smart, because I will spill the beans if I know too much. Foglight, it's all about trying your hardest. That's all you can do. Oh, I like this. I really like the new music we have. It's very jazzy. I'm into it. It's also just nice. I was getting sick of the old music we had. Ooh, Big Terp says 8 hours ain't nothing. Try 14 hours from LA to Sydney? Oh my God. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like there's something to be said about just doing all the flying at once as opposed to little tiny hops. But I think I prefer the little tiny hops just because it gives me the chance to get up and stretch my legs. Because, like, if you don't know, I'm really tall. You can't tell because I'm sitting down. But I'm really tall, and I have terrible restless leg syndrome, where your legs get, like, crampy. And it was really bad on the overseas flight I did yesterday, because I even had leg room, but it's just the fact that I'm, like, not moving, and I'm tired. If anyone who has restless leg syndrome might know, because I think it's kind of a universal thing that your legs get, what I call them twitchy. They get twitchy, like when it gets close to bedtime. And so I was flying at night, my legs were getting so twitchy, even though I had the space to, like, stretch them out, because I got lucky. I got one of those, like, exit row seats. It was like, I could not. It was so annoying because I was so tired. It was like 2 a.m. in my body. My body was, like, trying to sleep, and then my legs would wake me up, which was really annoying. But I guess it was good for jet lag because I was able to kind of push through that flight and then go to sleep when I got here, which was at normal bedtime for the Czech Republic. So maybe that was a pro tip, but it felt awful at the time because it's one thing to have twitchy legs when you're, like, awake. It's another when your body is like, please, dear God, sleep now. But your legs keep waking you up. Terrible. So, like, if I had more time on that plane, I would have lost my mind. Yeah, I had a short flight from my local airport to Detroit, then to Detroit to Amsterdam, then Amsterdam to Prague. And that was kind of nice. I think if it had been one long flight, I might have gone a little nuts. It's not a fun time. It's the worst. I will say, if you have restless leg syndrome, this is not official medical advice, but my partner, who is in the medical field, introduced me to something called magnesium threonate. It's like a specific type of magnesium that really, really helps with restless leg syndrome, which I ran out of right before my trip, which was bad thinking on my part. I prefer hops as well when I'm flying a long way. Yeah, it keeps you awake. Especially like you never know what's gonna be wrong with the plane you're on. Like maybe there's somebody stinky, or like your TV breaks or something, and it's nice to have the option to like move to different planes, you know, move around a little bit. Ooh, Bill, I think this might actually be on one of the Mighty Nine mixes, because I listen to the Mighty Nine Lo-Fi a lot, and I actually think this is one of them. Oh, welcome back from your lurk, Barb. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put an order for some food real quick, and also hang out with me for just a second. Don't stop in Toronto. What's wrong with Toronto? All right, chat, tell me your... Yeah, of course, Weary. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Just in case, so I don't miss it, if you do have like a Q&A question, put like question, then parentheses, or like, what's, colon, that's the word. Like in big letter, like all caps question, colon, then your question, so I don't miss it, because otherwise chat can sometimes, I can kind of gloss over stuff. But yeah, no, if you have doors, yeah, please, if you have any questions about the board game industry, about my job, about anything, yeah, we're here to kind of just chit chat. And the Weary Warlord, I have a question for you since you're new. Tell me what your favorite board game is. I like to ask that to new folks so I can get to know them a little bit. I'm gonna get more coffee and more sandwich. Question, how do you feel about the box player count being a marketing decision? Oh, yes, I love this question. I often feel like a game saying 2 to 6 is inflated to sell when it's clearly a 3 to 4 player game. Yes, I have strong feelings about that. I feel like that's kind of a new thing that's happened. I feel like it didn't used to be a thing. It used to be like, if it's a 2 to 4 player game, it's a 2 to 4 player game. But there definitely, I think, has been an uptick in suddenly games are 1 to 6 when it's like, it's really not. I feel like the higher player count I see less with. Like typically when it goes above 4, I've never encountered a game that says it works for more than 4, and I haven't had it work at that player count. What I have had though is games that like shoehorn in a solo mode or something that isn't like a fully realized solo mode, just to be able to sell to solo gamers. And I feel like I saw an uptick of that in the pandemic, like games that came out after 2020 when everyone was solo gaming. I feel like that was something people tacked on so that it was like, this is a big group game, but don't worry, you can still play it while we're in this weird time where you can't play games with anybody. I feel kind of like that's where it came from, but I could be wrong. But yeah, no, that's my hot take on that. I mean, it is good because I like the idea of like being more creative, because sometimes that 2 to 4 player count does get stale, but you have to make sure that it's like an intentional, like the solo player mode is good and intentional, and that you've playtested this at 6 players, so it actually works at 6 players. Question, is there a CGE game you haven't played so much and want to get better at? Well, I want to get better at Through the Ages, and I'm desperately trying. A CGE game that you haven't played so much and you want to get better at? I feel like Through the Ages is the obvious answer. For a game that I have played that I want to get better at, there are still a couple CGE games that I haven't played because our library is ginormous. And I think the biggest one on my list that I haven't played yet that I want to play is Prodigal's Club, because I really like Last Will. I feel like I've played more of them than you have, Steven. There's only a couple that I've never played, and it's Prodigal's Club. I've never played Sanctum, and I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. Wait, really, Angie? That's intense. That's intense. I do know about you and your obsession with Last Will. I mean, the thing is that I love Last Will. And from my understanding, Prodigal's Club is just kind of more complicated version. Ooh, have a good lurk, Bloody Lion. Thanks for hanging out so much. I appreciate it. All right, you haven't played Alchemist Foglight. I would love to teach you. What a good game. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna get more coffee and more food chat. Give me 1 second. You need a CGE bootcamp? All right, Steven. What's on your hit list for Czech gaming that you want to play? I played 11 yesterday, a game themed around running a soccer/football club. Oh, cool. Good theme, but had a bunch of mechanisms that weren't well connected. Oh, that's, yeah. I feel like that's also something that I've seen a lot in the board game industry lately, is lots of good ideas in one game that haven't been brought together successfully. You know, it feels like you're playing 3 different games at the same time. Do I want the exact same thing I had for breakfast, chat? Kind of. I kind of do. Maybe I'll get something sweet. Maybe I'll get the chocolate croissant. Chocolate croissant, oui oui. Get egg. I'll have one egg, please. Yeah, Steven, you gotta fix that. Can I have 1 gallon of soy sauce and 1 egg, please? Waff waff? I want to have something real and then also something sweet. I mean, maybe I'll just get something sweet to tide me over until a normal lunchtime. But people here eat their dinners, or till a normal dinner time. But people here eat their dinners later. I eat my dinner at 5 p.m. like an old lady. So I'll get myself the same thing I had this morning because that was good. Would you like some egg with your soy sauce? Oh my god, y'all! If you don't follow my personal Twitter, first of all, you should do that. Second of all, on there is some screenshots of the place that I got dinner from last night, because I use Volt, which is like the Uber Eats of Europe. And they auto-translate all the Czech food into English, because my phone is in English. And it says, even when you open it, it's like, hey, we know that some of these translations are bad. We're sorry. And I was like, dude, they can't be that bad, right? I know they're very bad. If you look at my Twitter, one of them was one of the titles of the dishes. It was like a pasta dish. Was just, that's nice. It's like the name. And one of them was pen with nail polish. Sounds delicious. Oh, I think you missed my answer, but I said my fave is probably either Star Wars Outer Rim or something abstract like Quirkle. Oh, nice. I love Quirkle. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Very varied taste. We love that. We love that. Yeah. I'm gonna order a round of pen with nail polish for everyone. I assume that's what everyone wants for lunch as well. Alright, let's get this. Excited for the Executioner's Whipped Cream. Oh my god, wait, that reminds me, Steven. That's actually a great story. All right, let me just order my food real quick. Yes. It always freaks me out too when you see the prices. It, like, in my brain, I am ordering a $275 meal. but it is Czech crowns. You're on a plane. Hi, Tony. We'll see you soon. All right, my food has been ordered. But yeah, no, Steven actually brings up a really funny story that I haven't told on stream yet. Oh, this has got kind of Christmassy vibes. Christmas is over. Get out of here. No more Christmas. I didn't mean to kill it altogether. Oh no, I'm sorry. So I'm still getting used to this new audio music service. You have to bear with me a little bit if it kind of sucks sometimes. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Steven brought up the translation of food and the Executioner's Whipped Cream. We literally had to have a call before I left for the Czech Republic, because again, what we're about to go to is an event called Czech Gaming, where we all go to like a hotel typically like out in the countryside, and we play games, right? And at that hotel, the food will be kind of catered for all the CG employees. We basically like buy out the whole hotel for like the weekend, and it's just us, and they, you know, you can mark off. So basically before the show, you can mark off, you know, what foods you want, so that they have like, when it's dinner time, they're like, oh, here's the thing you ordered. And there's like usually 2 or 3 options every evening. And Kuba, who I pointed out earlier, who, as I said, manages like Czech Gaming and summer camp and all the like internal events at CGE, he sent out a form that you can fill out. Like on Tuesday, I want spaghetti, and on Thursday, I want goulash, or whatever. The problem is that survey is entirely in Czech, right? Because it's sent to the office, and most of the office speaks Czech, and we had to have a call with him where he went through and like translated all of them. Because if you go to Google Translate, like, music is a touch loud. Okay. All right, let me know if that is better. I didn't change anything, but it might just be that this song is too loud. Better? Okay. Is it still too loud, or just better? What was I saying? Oh yeah, because for some reason, specifically with Czech foods, they translate very weird into English, so we had to sit down with Kuba and have him like explain, be like, this is a meat sauce with vegetables or whatever. Because if you go to translate it, literally one of the dishes in the form translated to the executioner's whipped cream, which sounds awesome, but ironically enough, is not whipped cream, in fact. What is CG's policy towards platforms like BGA and Tabletop Simulator? I'm not sure what you mean by policy, but we have several of our games up on BGA. I'm actually not sure about Tabletop Simulator. We have enough of our games on BGA, and I prefer BGA to Tabletop Simulator, wherein that's always what I use. I think there might be tabletop sim mods of some of our games, but I'm honestly not sure. But yes, we have a lot of our bigger titles on BGA, and we are working on making more of our games have their own dedicated like Steam app or phone app, like, you know, Through the Ages and Codenames have. So you might potentially be seeing more of that soon, but I won't talk about it anymore because it's secrets, and I will spoil the secrets if I talk about them. Is the whipped cream used by an executioner, or is the cream used before applying the executioner's whip? Your guess is as good as mine, Jeremiah. I did pick that as one of my meals, so I'll find out what it actually is soon. Bye, Tony. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna try so hard not to spill secrets. I'm gonna try, but I really, truly make no promises. Are there any cool salads over there, such as classic Bavarian summer salad that is apparently deli meats and onion? I'm not a salad girly, so I couldn't tell you. I will say that there's a lack of salads in general. I feel like most meal options here have some sort of meat. And I feel like when Kuba translated the salad options, or like the vegetarian options, it was like lettuce, like just lettuce. So I don't know of any like infamous salads, because I eat meat, and that's usually what I prefer. I'm not a salad girly. Thank you, Alkali. Just want to ask about food over there. It's my favorite part of going places. I respect that. I wish I was a more adventurous food person. The problem is I have a lot of allergies, which prohibits me from being super adventurous with stuff. But at least from my experience, it's a lot of like meat and bread based meals, which is good. I think it'd be hard. One of our employees, Tyler, is vegetarian, and I think it can sometimes be a little bit of a struggle for vegetarians to find stuff that's interesting for them. Can I be the Benedict Cumberbatch? Only if you tell me what that means. I mean, I know who Benedict Cumberbatch is, of course, but like me being the Tom Holland means I am the teller of secrets. You being Benedict Cumberbatch means what? And then yes, I will allow it. All right, for Foglight, or I guess this can be a question for everybody. What's your favorite like local dish that you've had in a place you've traveled? So like a meal that is, you know, only of a certain place. You know, what's your favorite that you've had out of your travels? Yeah, no, Weary, 100%. That is definitely an issue with there's a lot of like unlicensed games on Tabletop Simulator. So one of the reasons we like BGA is you can't have a game put up on BGA without like the publisher's permission, whereas TTA, Wild West is a very good way to describe it. Honestly, because CGE is honestly big enough where everyone has a hyper specific role. So I'm not actually super intimately familiar with like our TTS rules and such. I worked for a smaller company before I came here, and I knew I could have answered you for that company. For this company, I'm sure someone here has like knows, you know, whether or not we allow it, but I'm actually not sure. I just prefer BGA, so I just play our games on BGA, or if it has a dedicated app like Through the Ages, that's what I use. Mole in Mexico, nice, nice. Lack of veggies option does not match the office background. Yeah, you'd think that this was a very tofu veggie place. It's really not. It's a lot of meat. It's a lot of meat and veggies. Not veggies, meat and bread. Poutine, hell yeah. Sorry about the kiddos. It's the end of nap time. Fish/seafood in Spain. Ooh, I'm about to, when I get back to the US, I'm gonna take in March, I'm gonna be taking a vacation to Maine, which I'm very excited for, like seafood, like real good seafood, because where I live right now, we're a little landlocked where I am right now. So good seafood is hard to come by in Pennsylvania. So I have a question for all of you. Wait, what did he say? I traveled to the far off land of Indy. Oh my God, Steven, no, this is not, you did not. Steven did not understand the assignment. I'm very excited though for Steven to come. I feel like this is a very unique country to come to as your first place abroad ever. So it'll be very interesting. I'm excited to mildly gaslight Steven about some Czech things. I think that'll be fun. Mystery meat pies in Australia. See, that's where I draw the line of my adventurousness. If you can't tell me what's in it, no. I have enough allergies where I'm like, I need to be informed on what's going into my body, because I'll die. I'll just straight up die. I went to some backstreet Sorry, I read that as Backstreet Hospital. I was like, I don't know where this story is going, but I don't know how it ends up in good food. Some backstreet hotspot place in Hong Kong. Oh, that sounds so good. Off the touristy areas with local friends. Oh, that sounds so good. I'm really hoping to go to Japan in the coming years when my partner graduates from medical school. After the vacation that I mentioned I'll be taking to Maine, which is like a very small vacation, it's literally only like a couple days, I want to start saving up for like a Japan trip, because I'd love to go to Tokyo. So I'd like to do that after he graduates as like a present celebration for becoming a doctor. Wait, did I hear Ray talking about a vacation? Yes, the rare Ray vacation will hopefully be happening in March, because there'll be like a brief interlude in between when my partner finishes like this year of med school and starts the next one, or like takes his big exam and starts his clinicals. That's the terminology. I'm slowly working on like the med school lingo, because I'm just like hub-to-dub tests and stuff, but it's like he's taking STEP and then he starts clinicals, and there is the month of March. He actually has nothing in that month, so we are like doing everything. He's gonna go see his parents, we're gonna go take a vacation, we're gonna go visit my parents, we're gonna like do the grand tour of all the things that need to happen that haven't happened, because med school takes so much energy. Yo, what's up, Brian? Welcome on in. It's good to see you. Welcome to the Czech Games Edition office. How are you doing? Good morning. I'm right here, I can hear you. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure. Oh, I want my food to come faster. Dude, my favorite thing. Hold on, let me, can I like block out here. My favorite thing about that Volt app, which is like as I mentioned, sort of like the Uber Eats in the Czech Republic, is you can click on the timer. It tells you like how long till your food gets here, and you can click on it and just random food pops out. And I think that's so cute. Wait, I've never seen this before. I tapped it too many times and now it gave me a little tapping mini game. Did I win something? Wow, oh my God, that's so cute. So it's like if you're bored and you're like, food come faster, I want this timer to go faster, you can click it and little food pops out. Okay. See if I can beat my record. Oh, you can do better. I only got 30. I only got 30 food taps. Dude, my phone is so warm though. Feels like it's about to explode. Oh, Paya, that sounds so good. That sounds so tasty. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I hope someday in the future when I come to the Czech Republic I can whatchamacallit, like bookend like a trip to the Czech Republic with somewhere else in Europe. Because the hard part about, I think, traveling in Europe is the getting to Europe part and how expensive that plane ticket is. So I think if I'm already over here, I should at some point try to do like another trip somewhere so I can go other places and do all the good food and such. But yeah, the next vacations on the horizon are Maine in the US, and then I hope Japan, but we'll see. I might not have the money for it. We shall see when the time comes. I've got like 2 years to save up for it, so. Chat, if you could go anywhere in the world, like this year, where would you go? Oh, I do love Edinburgh. I've been to Scotland. I went to Scotland after I graduated high school, and still one of my favorite trips I've ever taken. All right, chat, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I will BRB for 1 second, so hang out. I'm back. Oof. My hair is a mess though. I cut my bangs right before I left, and I think I cut them in even. And if you know anything about me, having my bangs the perfect length is one of my needs in life. Yo, JD, welcome on in. How's it going? Good morning. Welcome to the Czech Games Edition office. It's good to see you. How's it going? Okay, friends, I'm going to pop off so I can finish packing and such. Ray, I will see you soon. Yes, text me with updates. If you have any problems, traveling internationally for the first time can be a little scary and stressful. So I have my phone here. I will send you my Czech phone number. Well, I'm on Wi-Fi for now, so you should be able to. You can't call me, Steven, but if you FaceTime me or anything that uses Wi-Fi, that'll work. But yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really excited for tomorrow's stream. I'm hoping tomorrow's stream can maybe be a little bit longer because I'll have to hop off here in about an hour to go to a meeting. But I'm hoping tomorrow's stream can be a little bit longer and we'll have some US folks here, which would be really fun. We'll have Tony and Steven and Nathan all here so I can force them to come hang out with me because like all the Czech coworkers who are here are actually doing work because this is like their office. This is where they work on a daily basis. The US folks are just here to mess around. Like we're just here for a couple days before we go to Czech Gaming so I can bully the Americans into hanging out with me tomorrow. So you'll have Steven and Tony hopefully to entertain you all tomorrow. James Blake, good morning. Welcome on in. It's good to see you. Rub sleep from eyes. I love that now. Yeah, it's 9:30 Eastern time right now. So all the American folks are slowly rolling in. Good morning. It's very good to see you, James. What are you doing streaming so early? I know you're not the first person who said that. I think that there's a little bit of that intrigue of like, why is Ray live so early? Because normal Ray would never be up this early. But I'm in the Czech Republic, in case you couldn't tell. I'm at the Czech Games Edition office in Prague. Lorelai, hello. What is this gamer playing with Nightbot? I think Alkali probably already explained it, but for anyone who's curious, I can also explain it with my words. Chatman is basically hangman for chat. So you can type exclamation point, it's exclamation point CM, right? Yeah, for Chatman, and then a letter. And it will then pop out, you know, if that letter was there, and if not, it'll increase the number of incorrect. It's this amazing little bot that Alkali made, because Alkali is amazing. And all the word phrases you're trying to guess are Chaos Names cards, so they're all those things that you've entered in over the last year and a half into our custom Codenames deck. So yeah, you can play that whenever you're bored, if I ever BRB or whatever. Oh my goodness, oh my god, I love that like as soon as it became 9:30, so many people came in. That's adorable. It's like waking up with folks in the morning. It's really cute. What else did I miss? JD says, in the office, so strange. I know there's only a couple of streams every year where this will be my background as opposed to my home office. But yeah, this is the CGE headquarters in Prague. This is where all of the Czech employees work. There's just a handful of folks who work in Brno, and then there's a handful of Americans who are remote, but this is actually where most of CGE stuff happens. This is where the games get made, the playtests happen, all that goodness. The support emails get answered here, all that jazz. Jamie, hello, good morning. Jamie, I love you. Yes, the vegetation like in this office is my favorite thing. I love how green it is. This tree, I say it every time, but this tree is real. We hire a person to come and water this tree for us. That's insane. Who else? We have Adam, good morning, hello. Angie, for your question, yes, we have water. The waterfall over here has turned back on. We have water and everything. This morning, if you weren't here for the top of the stream, this morning the office was without water, which was a bummer because that also meant everyone was without coffee, which was bad. It was a dire situation. Hey, that is a cool office. Thank you, Adam. I love it here. I really wish we had enough US employees to justify like a US office. Or I should just move to Prague because it's so nice here. I love it. Bill frickin' Murray, good morning. Bill, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. It's really good to see you. Xanta, hello. Looks better than the wall I have for review these days. Oh, Xanta, I'm sorry, but I'm glad you can virtually experience the CGE office with us today. Thank you for joining us. Honderfon, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. Oh my god, Hemogoblin. I love your username. That is incredible. What a great username. Welcome to the CGE office, Hemogoblin. It's nice to see you. Thank you for joining us in chat for the very first time. It's nice to meet you. How's everyone? Oh my god, we have so many people in here now that it's a more reasonable hour for our US friends. How's everyone doing? What are you up to this week? Anything cool coming up for y'all? Oh my god, what is the Chatman word? Something about saving eyeballs? Something about saving eyeballs. I'm too dyslexic for Chatman. I have eyeballs. Kit Kat, hello! Kit Kat, how are you? I've missed you too. I went almost a whole week without streaming. We streamed on Tuesday, then the Thursday stream fell through, so it's been a hot minute. It's really good to see you, Kit Kat. How are you doing this morning? Ooh, my food's gonna be here in 9 minutes. Let's go. Let's go. Fingers crossed, everybody, that he drops it off without any issue and I don't have to talk to someone on the phone and check. Witches can have eyeballs. There you go. You have to, I don't know, how do you guess, Alkali? I think you have to go letter by letter, I think? I haven't actually been able to play Chatman myself because it's usually used when I'm not here. You remember that stream? Wait, can someone explain the context of witches can have eyeballs to me? Because I don't remember that. I say a lot of things on stream that I then don't remember. Highway welcome to Europe. Thank you, Tolsko. I appreciate it. It is delightful to be here. I very much like it here in the Czech Republic. It's really funny when I Ubered from the airport. I got an Uber driver who, you know, it's fun because I've actually learned. Okay, this story is 2 parts. I'm sorry. I'm so unmedicated today. But I typically, you know, Uber drivers around here will sometimes speak some English, but usually not like a ton. And it's always like an awkward experience where they'll start talking to you in Czech and you'll have to be like, oh, sorry, I don't understand. And I've learned recently that the great way to drop into the conversation that I don't speak Czech early without being awkward is when they pick me up, they'll usually kind of like struggle with my name a little bit or be like, Rochelle? And I'll be like, Rachel. Thank you. And they'll be like, oh, Rachel. And then they'll be like, oh, she's American. When I pronounce my name, they're like, oh, okay, Rachel, got you. No check. And I'll be like, yes, no check. But I had my Uber driver yesterday who asked me, who did speak very good English, and asked me if it was my first time in the Czech Republic. And I was like, oh, no, you know, I've been here 3 times. He's like, oh, he started giving me crap about not speaking Czech. He's like, oh, but you haven't learned the language. I was like, it's really hard. Okay. I try. I feel like it's definitely one of the hardest, I don't know, foreign languages coming from English. I'm Rachel, Queen of America. But it's been successful lately. Also with when my Volt driver dropped off my food this morning, it was the same thing. Where he's like, oh, order for, and I was like, yes, order for Rachel. And that's a good way to, it's just funny. I guess that's not how you would say my name here. Not with like that accent. My partner has lived here for almost a year and he knows like 3 words. Yes, talking to Angie's partner actually made me feel a lot better. I got to meet Angie's partner at summer camp. Made me feel a lot better. But then there's people like John, who's Felix's partner, who speak quite a bit of Czech. It's like, come on. It's hard though. It's hard. It's not for lack of trying. It's a little bit for lack of trying. But it's hard. I'm dyslexic. I can't even speak like Spanish, which I feel like is a very easy language to go from English to. There's something about like, English is hard enough for me with dyslexia that when letters stop doing what I want them, what I think they should do, it all goes downhill from there. What's your favorite thing to eat when you go there? I think my favorite thing to eat here is goulash. Out of like the Czech specific foods, goulash is heckin' great. James says, it was a codename stream and you gave a clue and your teammate was like, witches can have eyeballs. Oh, of course it was codenames. I should have known better. A checklist, but all right, chat. My food is about to be here, so I'm gonna go to a BRB screen. I will BRB. But now that we have some more folks in here, feel free to drop any questions. We're kind of just doing like a Q&A and chat. So if you have any questions about like, I don't know, my job, CGE, board games, anything like that, we are just talking today. So now is your chance if you have anything you want to talk about. But give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna go pick up my food and hopefully, hopefully it goes well. Hey chat, I'm back with my food, but I have to go talk to actually our graphic designer about something real quick. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Also, my food has a cute like comic drawn on it, so I'm gonna try to have someone translate that because it's all in Czech, and then I will tell you a cute story about the Starbucks employees. I will BRB, just hang tight. Feel free to play Chatman while I'm gone. It's basically a system, if you're new, it's a system where you get to input silly things that we've said over the course of the stream, and then Chatman will pick one. And it works like Hangman, where you have to decide what letters or figure out what letters are in the phrase, and then slowly over time, a ridiculous thing that someone has said on the stream at some point will be slowly revealed. But I will BRB, so hang tight for another minute. Whoa, I almost just knocked my water over. Narrowly avoided disaster. Okay, hi chat. Sorry, thank you for waiting. I have my food. I was just being shown some really cool new art for the Twitch channel, actually. Stepan, our graphic designer, is making new panels and basically new everything. Yeah, I got Starbucks. New panels and what's the word I'm looking for? Panels and banners, and eventually new schedule graphics. And he was showing me the almost finished version of the panels and the work in progress of the banner, and it looks so good, and I'm so excited for you guys to see it. Also, I have my Starbucks bag was drawn on, and I'm gonna go find someone who speaks Czech to explain it to me, because I wanna tell you what it means, but I have no idea. So give me a second. So cute. It's so cute. Oh my god. Okay. Check, please. Okay. So Yana just translated it for me, and it says, this is gonna be my butchering of memory. It says, you know, Rachel B, Ray B, thank you for your order. Have a wonderful day. Little smiley face and a heart. And then down here are they drew all the baristas at the Starbucks, and they want me to know that Philip here, I'll get a little bit closer. They want me to know that Philip is the barista of the month, and that he hopes to be the barista of the month for every month following. It's him saying, like, I hope to be the barista of the month forever. And he thanks me very much personally for my order. How cute is that? And then they drew all the other baristas. Zuzka. That is so cute. That is so cute. American Starbucks would never, oh my god, they would never. I'm gonna save this. That's so cute. Philip, I hope Philip, if you're out there, I will tell you in a minute how your coffee tastes, but I hope that you are barista of the month forever as well. That's good. That's good stuff, Philip. Thank you. Meanwhile, the US Starbucks can't even spell your name right. That is the cutest thing ever. Oh my god. They drew everybody. Look how cute they are. That's so cute. Oh my god. All right, well, I'm gonna eat my Starbucks now. They clearly don't have much work. All right. Order for rye. Oh, Lorelai, don't. I get R-A-E a lot. That's how most people who have Ray as a nickname short for Rachel, that's actually how it's normally spelled. And R-A-Y, the way I spell it, is typically like Ray as a man, like just as like just a regular man's name is usually Ray, R-A-Y. And if it's short for Rachel, which is what mine's short for, it's usually R-A-E. So I get that a lot, which, like, it's not wrong. I still know who they're talking about most of the time. Also, this is my second double shot espresso for the day. So I'm gonna be vibrating. I'm gonna be unwell very soon. All right, I'm gonna chat because I want to catch up on everything in chat. Then I will mute again and eat, and then I will be back. My partner Rachel gets that all the time too. She isn't a fan. Yeah. Does she get the weird spelling of Rachel too, which is R-A-C-H-A-E-L? I get that a lot as well. Ray's usually for Raymond. Oh, is it? I guess that makes sense. I've never really put that together. Ahoj. I'm so sorry, I don't speak Czech. Oh no. I'm so sorry you had to witness my shame, chat. I'm glad this happened last time too, but it wasn't on camera last time. I haven't. Okay. So this happened last time I was here. She was younger then, and she started crying when I didn't respond to her in Czech. So she took it better that time. She was less personally offended than last time. But that's one of the kids of one of my coworkers, and it happened to me last time where she looks up at me with these really cute little kid eyes and says ahoy, and I go ahoy, and then she starts talking to me in Czech, and I have to be like, oh, I have no clue. Like, I can't even say I don't speak Czech in Czech. I need to learn how to say I don't speak Czech, because last time she cried because I think she was like confused and disappointed that like I didn't understand a word, like a single word. And this time it was recorded on stream for everyone's entertainment. No speako Czeko. I'm so sorry. Ne meme česky. Ne meme česky. Was that intelligible, Angie? I gotta learn, because like I think especially with kids it's confusing, especially in a country like the Czech Republic, right? Where like some people speak English, sure. Most people speak some English, but everyone speaks Czech. Encountering someone who doesn't speak any Czech is rare. So it's confusing and scary. I'm this like tall, loud American lady who cannot communicate with you at all. Ne me česky. That was really bad part. It makes me feel so bad because I can't do anything. She looks at me and she's sad and disappointed. I'm like, listen, I'm sad and disappointed in me too. Oh, also the captions died. Hold on. There we go. I'm like, listen, no one is more disappointed in me right now than me, but I can't do anything about it. Oh, like disappointing adults with not speaking Czech is one thing. Like disappointing my Volt driver is one thing. Disappointing a sad child, the worst, the lowest of lows. I don't know how to write the mim. The mim. Here, I have to, let me hear it and translate. Okay. Oh my god, hold on. Gotta stop the music. Hold on, alright. Welcome to Ray Educates Herself. Nemluvím česky? Was that close? Nemluví česky? How terrible did that sound? That was really good? Okay. Nemluvím česky? I don't speak Czech. Nemluvím česky. No Czech. And maybe I should do, ooh, sorry. I hit my mic. Let's do I do not speak Czech. No, it's exactly the same. The don't versus I do not does not translate any differently. Nemluvím česky. Dunno. But the thing is, like, if you're a kid, right? I don't know that would, like, you're still gonna talk in Czech. Can't speak Czech? Okay. I I can't speak Czech. Neumím česky? That is easier. That is easier. Neumím česky? How was that? How was that? No, Czech, sorry. That's what I had to say because I don't know what else to do because you can't not say anything. You can't not say anything. Like, that's terrible. But speaking in English doesn't help the situation. That was perfect. I already forgot. What was it? I already forgot. Neumím česky? G, you are correct. You could just sit there and make dead eye contact. I cannot, though. It will kill me. It will kill me. I feel like if you get it perfect, yeah, I have to say it like in butchered American accent. If I say it too correctly, children will not understand that, like, nothing is happening in my brain. It is just static. Like, there is no comprehension happening on any level. Yo, DBX Runner, welcome on in. Thank you for joining them. Just shorten it to I can't speak. I'm mute. I'm sorry. Not gonna happen. Okay, so sorry. I wanna see if I missed anything in chat. Snorri Bear, welcome on in, Snorri. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Jamie. Jamie says she's like, there are languages other than Czech. Yeah, it's a very like language homogenized country, at least as far as I understand. So I can imagine why it's like very distressing and confusing to have a very loud adult be talking at you in another language and not talk in Czech ever. Just always loud English. Why is the Sorry, I was too mortified to read chat while that was happening, so I'm scrolling back up, and G said, "Why is that adult why is that adult who's talking to themselves not able to communicate?" Yeah, because also we added on the confusion of me talking to a computer in a language you don't understand, and then unable to also talk in your language. I am just making kids sad all over the country. I fly in and all the children start crying. You could always learn, do you speak English? I could. That would be helpful. Zero speak 5 me. Nothing is more humbling than making a kid cry because you don't speak their language. Like, nothing is more upsetting because there's like nothing you can do about it in the moment. You're just like, you're looking at me, you want something from me, I cannot give it to you, I cannot communicate to you that I cannot give it to you. Everything is terrible. Well, I'm so glad and mortified at the same time that was caught on stream. I'm so sorry. And it's the same one. The other ones are just don't talk to me, but she, every time I come here, tries to engage me in a Czech conversation, and every time I have to be like, sorry. Oh my god, yeah. Angie is my speech pet. Thank you, Angie, for saving me. If she comes back, neumím česky. No more. Aw, thank you for being a good sport, Angie. All right, well, I'm gonna take a minute, eat my sandwich. Oh, Savanta, why? Oh, I should turn on the music again. I'm sorry. I was like something. Oh god, that was so loud in my ears. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, I'm sorry if that also, I'm so sorry. I don't know if that was as loud for you as it was for me. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going to take a minute and eat my sandwich, because if I talk, I won't eat, and then my food will be cold. So everyone vibe for a minute. Feel free, as I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions for like a Q&A for when I get back, feel free to drop those in chat and I will go back and read them. But I'm gonna chill. Zvonda says you can totally speak Czech. No. Neumím česky. All right, I will BRB. Give me a second. Okay, I am back. Thank you for the bagel break. That was a dude. Someone said, I think it was Hunter, said that they were surprised that a bagel from Starbucks in Prague is good. It's very good. It's way better than anything that I've ever had at a U.S. Starbucks. It's weird because the menu's totally different. So like in the States, at every Starbucks I ever been to, it has like, you know, the egg bites and the like the bacon and Gouda and like that stuff. They didn't have that here. It's more like a bagel shop style food as opposed to like, I don't know, those little frozen sandwiches that they pull out at the American Starbucks. Really, really good actually. It was ham and egg and cheese and arugula, which I love arugula. No, very good. That's the best. Like everything else around here I find is more like meal-like. So I know I feel like it's kind of sacrilege to be in Prague and then order from Starbucks, but listen. And we're about to go out into the wilderness and eat nothing but very Czech food for the next week. So a bagel it was. Yeah. Oh, that's actually a good point, Alkali. I wonder if one of the reasons why I don't like American Starbucks as much, or like any of the American fast food places as much as I like them abroad, is because our food laws are more lax. So you can just like heat up stuff that probably shouldn't be heated up. See, that's a thing that like doesn't exist in the US. Like ordering food and having it just be a hot chocolate is so weird. Like the only time that I ever like order a meal in the US is like if it's a meal. I would never just like order coffee randomly, you know? That's just, it's one of those things that I don't know, one of those cultural things. It's just so much cheaper. Yo, welcome on in. Kepata, I think is how you'd say that, but please correct me if I'm wrong. It's really nice to see you again. Thanks for joining us. What do you think about AI art in board games? I personally don't particularly like AI art in board games because I think that, I don't know, personally speaking, I think that artists are, I don't know, more creative, and I think board games are such a personalized craft that it feels weird to me to have a robot make the art for it, you know? But I don't want to get too into it because I know that topic is very hot and heavy right now. But personally, I prefer real artists for board games. It just doesn't feel right for me, but that's just my personal thoughts on that. Also, welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely Monday. Welcome to the Czech Games Edition office in Prague, where I am right now. Honestly, we expect Americans to go to foreign places and head to the nearest American franchise, so you're good. I'm usually not like that, though. That's usually not what I'm like. I just wanted something quick that I knew I would like. Yeah, so that was just out of necessity. Usually, again, I usually get lunch with the whole team and they order, but because of my jet lag, it's not really possible right now. Yeah, no, it's really good to see you, Kapata. I hope everything's good with you. They'll never AI my art. Question, how long are you staying in Czech? That's also a thing that I didn't expect. A lot of Czech people refer to it just as Czech as opposed to the Czech Republic, but I feel stupid when I say just Czech because to me, it feels like I don't know the name of the country, but that's what I found a lot of my Czech employees just say, oh, you coming to Czech? But I'll be in Czech I'll be here in Prague for 2 days, and then we will be going to Czech Gaming, and then I'll be leaving right after Czech Gaming, which means I'll be leaving next Monday. So I'm here throughout the week, and then the weekend, and then I leave on Monday, and then I go back to America, and I will be sad again. The art is very expensive, but there is definitely plenty of, you can look around and find folks who will do it. At your price point, usually. You don't always have to go for the established artists in the field because it is hard to break into the field as an artist. So you can usually find folks who will work with you. I would definitely recommend you look around a little bit before you resort to AI art, especially if you're like actually trying to make a board game and break onto the board game scene. Partially just because of my own personal feelings about it, but also the board game space is very hostile towards that idea at the moment, and it may not be worth saving the money. You may end up with people not happy with you, and I wouldn't go that route because I think it could draw more controversy than it's worth to save the money. Also, I will say another thing. Make your art yourself. I know that sounds dumb, and maybe I don't know what your game is like, so maybe it's not feasible, but I own several indie board games where the dev just drew it themselves, and it can be done in a really charming way. Like, for example, Potion Slinger, a game I got at PAX U, was entirely done by the designer, and it looks like MS Paint art, kind of, a little bit, maybe not MS Paint is the right word, but no, maybe it is. It has like that MS Paint style to it, and it's really cute and it's really charming. And yes, it makes it look less professional, but there's something endearing about it. And if you do it right, I think there's a way to spin quote unquote bad art in a way that works for your game. I mean, his is a very like eccentric card game, so it like works well. It doesn't work well for every game, but there are definitely options out there that I would explore first. Cora's Quest art. Oh yeah, the one that's done by kids? Yeah, I think that's so cute. That's so cute. You want to check out Tinder to find your checkmate buttons. I appreciate that big chirp. Well done, well done. I went to a Pizza Hut in China, and it's very, very different. The sizes were in kilograms, not small, medium, large. Oh, that's very weird. Yeah, no, it's really cool to see American franchises abroad. I really want to order, there's a KFC that is also near me on Volt that I kind of want to order from, because I'm very curious what Czech KFC is like. All the birds and wingspan would look the same if I did the drawings. The thing is, I would buy a bootleg version of Wingspan where all the birds are drawn in MS Paint. The thing is, I would love that. That's the kind of thing that I'm into. I'm a neither, Angie. I'm really not a fast food person in general. I don't, like, out of those two, I think I'd go McDonald's before I'd go KFC, but I really don't like either. Good question, Hunter. Good question. Had wings as a side and no fries. Shocking. Shocking. Thanks for the advice. Have to explore other options first, but at least I can make a nice concept art for the game in TTS. Yes. Another thing I'll say about that, if you're like serious about publishing this game and you're really strapped for cash, one thing you can do that I find helpful is if you're not planning to self-publish, but you're planning to pitch to a company like for example CGE, do AI art for your prototype so it can look the way you want it to look, but then have the publisher like hire a real artist for you. That is, I think, again, this is all very coded in my own personal opinion. This is not CGE's opinion as a whole, but my opinion on it is that like AI art really doesn't have a big place in board games right now. I think just kind of ethically, it's not. It's a big contention right now. But one of the big uses of it is for up and coming designers to prototype their game and make it look kind of like what they want it to look like, and then they can, because one of the things that's hard about prototyping is that art sells a game. Oh, I lost my captions again. Sorry, chat. There we go. Art sells a game. We know that for a fact. That a lot of folks are biased towards certain type of art styles. Sorry, I'm trying not to burp and speak at the same time. You know, a good art makes a game better, usually, right? A game has to be really good to still want to be played if it's super ugly. So I think that a benefit of AI art is using AI art to prototype your game to make it look more professional and then pitch it to a publisher and have the publisher hire like a real artist so it can look more unique. I also find a lot of AI art looks the same. So yeah, you can use that to give a feeling for your game, make it look better. Use that in your pitches so the game looks more polished, and then switch over to a real artist when you have the funds, once you have a publisher backing you to actually make the game look nice. But yeah, that's my hot take advice on that. Yes, thank you, Hunter. I'm so sorry I missed that. It's hard normally, like the way I do my captions when I'm individually streaming like this is I use Google Meets. And Google Meets is very needy, wherein if it can't be seen, like if it's covered by other windows, it stops working. It's kind of like me. It's very needy. And when I'm home, I have multiple monitors, so I can just kind of throw it up on one monitor and leave it alone. But when I'm on my laptop, I'm constantly pulling up tabs that block it. So I'll try to be better about that. Optcos, good morning. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Czech Games Edition office. It's really good to see you. I hope you're having a lovely morning. How's it going? Eva Little, hello, Eva. Welcome to Prague. How are you doing? Hunter says, yep, investors, publishers, and players can't see gameplay until they play. Yeah. But art immediately communicates the fantasy you're going for. Yes, 100%. I think that's a really good way to put it, Hunter. Being able to visualize what the game is supposed to feel like, you know, is really helpful. And if you don't have the money for prototype art, that can actually be a big barrier, which is one of, I think, the good uses for like generated art. It's really cool that you're doing these types of Q&A. It's not easy to find content like this. You're totally welcome. Thank you so much for watching and giving me something interesting to talk about. I really appreciate it. It's only interesting if I have something interesting to talk about. So thanks for bringing your questions. I appreciate it. This office looks amazing. Do we get a tour? I don't have a tour planned for this trip. I actually have done a tour before, about a year ago when I was here last. I did a tour. It wasn't very good quality because I hadn't quite figured out how to do walking around streams in high quality yet. So that does exist. I debated doing one while I was here, but I was like, I don't know, it's the same that it was last year. Like there's nothing new really to show. So I don't plan to do that, but I can give you guys a little 360 look around here. Hold on. How's Prague treating you? It's treating me great. I'm eating Starbucks right now, which is a little sacrilegious, but it's very good so far. All right, here, let me give you guys a little spin. So I'm in what we call the pool, which is just this lime green recessed area that is where things happen, activities happen. And then if you spin, I'll spin you guys real quick. Oh, sorry. But you little spin. We have Yana running. We've got a couple different offices here and here. The graphics guys are like kind of behind that wall. This is a lot of the, I guess the bosses. Oh, can you hear me while I'm behind the mic? Probably not. You probably can't. I shouldn't be back there. I realize my mic is very directional. Yeah, so this is, yeah, as Angie put it, the managing positions. That's like where our CEO and Tom are. Then we have marketing right here. So if I lived in Prague, I would work in this office. Yeah, no, I have a very advanced mobile stream, Kadepa. I am butchering your name. I just don't have it with me right now. And last time I did a walk around stream, I used my phone, but it like wasn't quite as good as I wanted it to be. So maybe someday I'll bring like my whole setup and do a real nice walk around tour, but not in the cards for this trip because I'm only here for 2 days, so. So yeah, and then over here, I mean, this upper floor is the most interesting. Like downstairs is cool too, but you can kind of see the coolest parts of the office here. So, okay, in here is what we call the treehouse. Sorry for my light in the way. This is the treehouse. That's where we hold all of our meetings. So it's this big circular room. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but a lot of stuff in this office is like foresty themed with all the vegetation and stuff. So this is supposed to sort of resemble the trunk of a tree. I can move you guys a little bit. In like the windows, like in there, we have a ton of versions of our games in other languages. So we have like Chinese code names and stuff, which are really cool. So yeah, this is the treehouse office thing. Ray, say it again. Sorry. The other place we point at. Sorry, Mike is very directional. This is the treehouse. It's where we have all of our meetings. One of my favorite things is like it has these like little window cutout things. It's got these guys. I can't get at the other angle from here. But in the windows, we have a lot of our games in other languages. Here, I can grab one. So this is Codenames Pictures XXL in the thing Chinese, which is just, I don't know, it's cool. It makes for really cool, decorations. How many foreign language versions are there of Codenames? 1 billion. A lot of them are in there. We also have a lot of the really rare ones. So we have like Disney Codenames in like, you know, Arabic and stuff that they just look really, really cool. It makes for really nice like office decoration. So yeah, no, that's kind of, so all the main offices are up here. Over there we have like administrative stuff. So we have like the person who handles all of our like passwords and text, so, like the person who will like, if your phone breaks and you need a new company phone, he works over there, as well as Felix works over there. And then yeah, that's pretty much everything. And then behind us we have, here, I'll spin you guys. You won't be able to hear me, so I'll tell you before I spin around. Behind us we have sleeping spaces, which is the coolest thing about this office. They're like little areas way up in the ceiling that you can sleep in. So if you want to stay overnight at the office, you can. I'll pan up there so you guys can see it real quick. Question, do you have a favorite sleeping space color? I like the white one because I think it goes really well with like the vegetation. As you'll have noticed up there, to like block out light from the office, there's all those plants, which are also real plants, which is so cool. Those are like real vines. I like the white one the most because I think it really complements the vines quite a bit. Oh my goodness, Moko Maid, hello! Yo, thank you so much for joining us. Hold on, let me put my headphones back in. Hello! I don't know if you saw my message or not, because I don't have my Twitch open. But I wanted to thank you so much for that shout out you did on your channel the other day. I really, really appreciate it. It was really sweet of you guys. I went back and watched your VOD, and thank you for all the kind things you had to say about Codenames. Yeah, welcome to the Czech Games Edition Twitch channel. As you probably know, we are the makers of Codenames, as well as a bunch of other board games. I am Ray. I am our in-house Twitch streamer, so I run the CGE Twitch channel. It's my job. I am here for a company event in Prague, so I'm based out of the US, which is where I typically work remotely. You've stumbled upon a very unique and special stream where I am in the CGE office in Prague. This is where all the magic happens. This is where Codenames and all of our other games get made and thought up and prototyped and all that jazz. Yeah, I'm in town for an internal playtesting event, which is a thing we do once a year, where we bring together everyone at the company. We go out into the Czech Republic wilderness and test all of the games that we are considering publishing for this year. And I'm hopefully, if we have good enough internet at that hotel, I will be taking you guys with me there as well. But today and tomorrow we're streaming from the office because it's a really cool opportunity to give you guys sort of a behind the scenes look at what goes on at the CGE office. We were talking about Codenames and your mod, Barbed Wire, told us about you. That's so sweet. It was such good timing that she happened to be there when you guys were talking about Codenames. Oh no, the song has words in it. The words are great, but I don't want them right now. Thank you very much. Do you do visitor tours? I'm a traveling IRL streamer. Oh, sick. That's super cool. I watch a lot of IRL content. That's awesome. Let me make sure I'm following you if I'm not. Let me fix that real quick. Sick. Okay, cool. There we go. Followed. I'm coming to Prague this summer. We don't do IRL tours as far as I'm aware, but if you hit us up when you come to Prague, maybe I can get you in and you can do like an IRL tour of the office. If you like do it on stream or something, if you like make content out of it, I might be able to. We'll see. Shoot us like a message when you're headed here. I won't be here. I will be back in America most likely, but I'll see what the staff think. We've never done anything like that before, but you never know. You never know. CG, the maker of cardboard happiness. I like that. That should be our new tagline. You're doing a great job, Ray. Aw, Sam Bob. Heck, thank you so much. Also, it's good to see you. Happy Monday. Welcome to the CGE office. It's really good to see you. Barb is okay. She's top 4 CGE mods. No, Barb is the best. If Barb is out there representing our community to other streams, Couldn't ask for a better representation. Oh no, it's really cool to meet you guys too. I love when I'm in like a random stream. It's actually happened more than I've expected when we're in like a random stream and someone mentions that they like Codenames, because Codenames is one of those few board games that is really transcended into like the common language. Like people who aren't board game people, a lot of them still know Codenames, and it's always the coolest thing. It genuinely makes my day all the time. Yeah, we'll try it out. Thank you for that follow. Ooh, your name is very long and hard to say. Nah, I'll try once, but then you'll have to tell me how to pronounce it. Nasel Nikpo Hodar. Thank you for that follow. Welcome on in. It's very nice to meet you. Welcome to the CGE Twitch channel. Welcome to the CGE office. I'm so sorry for that butchering of your name. Please feel free to hop in chat and correct me here. We'll get a slightly better angle for y'all. What is your fave thing that you've eaten while you're there? Everyone's been asking me about food, and I have only been here for a day, and I've only had Starbucks. Ask me that again when I'm home after I go to Czech Gaming and I eat a bunch of goulash and stuff, okay? The McDonald's Czech menu looks interesting. Instead of hot apple pie, it's chocolate and salted caramel pie. And there's some interesting looking breakfast sandwiches. Yeah, no, it's actually, I hadn't really realized how different it was. So maybe that'll be my new thing when I travel, is I try American-based franchises in the Czech Republic, and I do my little reviews. Currently, I gotta say, the Starbucks here, I have never in my life gotten something this cute from an American restaurant before. This, if you weren't here like 45 minutes ago when I got my Starbucks order, this was what was drawn on my bag when I ordered Starbucks. And it's a little comic telling me about their employee of the month and how their employee of the month thanks me and hopes that he will be employee of the month next month. And that is freaking adorable, and America could never. Brack55, thank you for that follow. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the CG Twitch channel. Feel free to jump in chat and say hey and tell me about your favorite board game, or just chill and vibe. That's also fine. We love our lurkers. Gelion Eldar, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for jumping in chat. And they say, hey, I didn't know, but you guys make some of our group's favorite games. Oh, makes my day. Thank you for playing our games and supporting our work. I'm really glad to hear that it's brought you joy. That's awesome to hear. They say, I had a question for someone in the industry. How would a new designer know that their games could be published? Asking for a friend, obviously. Yeah, so we get that question quite a bit about, like, you know, I have a game, how do I publish it? All that stuff. Also, Osmati, welcome on in. Thanks for joining us. I want to say hey before I forget. Thank you so much for being here. So let me read again. I had a question for someone in the industry. How would a new designer know that their games can be published? That's kind of an interesting way to phrase that. I feel like most often I get the question of how do I publish my game? It's interesting that you're asking how do I know that my game can be published? And I think that this is gonna sound, I'm sorry if this is kind of a boring answer, but playtest it. That is the #1 best way to know that your game is good, is to show it to people who are not your friends and family and are biased to tell you that it's good. Take it to a local playtesting event. Every major city has them, and in the US, typically, you can go to any sort of city center, even if it's not like a major city. And you might be surprised, there might be one in your hometown. I come from a really small town in New Hampshire, and we have a playtesting group that's actually quite robust. Take it to a playtesting group. Typically, if you've never been to a playtesting group before, typically it's a group of designers who kind of sign this mutual contract of I will bring my game, which you will give feedback on, and then I will play your game, which I will give feedback on, which can be a really great way to test your game on fresh eyes. I think that's the most important thing. I feel like a lot of new designers fall into the trap of just like showing it to their friends, and your friends are gonna like your game regardless. I hate to tell you too, but the best thing you can do is bring it to an anonymous or, like, you know, group of strangers, right? It doesn't have to be as formal as a playtesting group. You can bring it to a party, you can bring it wherever, but get, you know, the honest opinions of strangers. And if people are enjoying it, people are laughing, people are having fun, that's how you know that you should, like, actually pursue it. I hope that answers your question. If you want more details on stuff, I'm happy to give it. But if you're just wondering in general, like, hey, is my game any good? Best thing you can do, show it to randos who are not invested in it at all and see if they like it. I find that that is a pretty good first step. And if you're struggling with, you know, finding people to show it to, you can always, if you have any sort of computer savvy at all, you can always make a mod for it on Tabletop Simulator. That's actually one of the really good uses of Tabletop Simulator, is you can make your own game like in Tabletop Simulator and play it online, because there are tons of online playtesting groups, even if you don't have one. Oh, sorry, we've got a sad kiddo. Even if you don't have one physically in your area, there's tons of playtesting groups online that have follow a similar format. Like, you sign up to play and give honest feedback on other people's games, and they sign up to give feedback on your games, and that's a really great way to get started. And honestly, I have very little computer savvy, and I have made games in Tabletop Simulator. It takes a little bit of Googling, but you can figure it out with a little bit of effort. I knew there was a secret. Thank you so much for the advice. I'll see if our town actually has a playtesting group. Yeah, no problem. That is, it seems obvious, but it's the step a lot of people miss, is you just gotta show it to random people and get their feedback. And yeah, and then you can go from there, and then you can come back. Once you've done that and you're wondering what the next step, I'm happy to help you from there. Yeah, Tabletop Sim it really comes in handy because it's not the most intuitive platform ever for players, but for developers, you can make games quite easily and quite quickly. You can iterate quite quickly in Tabletop Simulator without having to go through, you know, something more official like Board Game Arena. Yeah, and also I find that the materials to make a game physically are sometimes very limiting for folks. If you're trying to come up with something really, you know, unique and innovative, paper and pencil might not cut it, and that is where Tabletop Simulator really comes in handy. Yes, Hunter, Tabletopia, also another great option for digitally prototyping your board game. Sorry, that the fourth shot of espresso is kicking in. I'm all like jittery and I can't talk now. Oh, thank you for that follow. I really appreciate it. I'm glad the advice was able to help you out. Jeremiah says, wait, I've seen a few kids already. That's cool that kids can come and be around. There is no bring your kid event specifically. Yeah, they just hang out. So CGE has like a babysitter who will handle people's kids if they don't have another place to be, which is really nice like infrastructure to have. I was playing Codenames with my friends Friday night. No, I was playing Codenames with my Friday night Zoom stream. Gotcha. And somebody beat my record of having the kill card being the pick the quickest. Oh, that is some of my favorite Codenames memories are when the assassin gets picked right off the bat. It's one of the amazing things about Codenames. Ooh, I've actually never heard of Screentop, Jamie. That is. See, come to the CG stream for a wealth of knowledge. I didn't even know that existed because it's been a while since I've been in the prototyping business. For the company I worked at before CGE, I did a lot of prototyping, and that's when I did that's when I got all my experience in Tabletop Simulator modding. But since then, it's been like almost 2 years since I've actively been prototyping something. So the scene has changed a lot since then, so I'm sure there are other newer and better tools out there, and actually learning that there are other ones out there is great because, as I mentioned, Tabletop Simulator is not the most accessible site in the world, like especially if you're trying to show the game to someone who's not computer savvy on Tabletop Simulator. It's a really clunky site, so having other options is really great. So yeah, go check them out. Dark Santanica, welcome on in. Thank you for joining us. Raina, hello. Raina, how are you? It's really good to see you. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Czech Games Edition office. It's good to have you here. We're doing a little cozy chit chat and Q&A today from the office. I'll be streaming for about, oh, is it 4:30 already? I might have to go soon, chat. I have to be in a meeting, but I don't know if the meeting's actually gonna happen on time. So I will hang out here and vibe until Eleni comes and yells at me. It looks so good. Aw. Raina, I love this office. I am very honored and happy that I get to share it with you all because it's so cool. This is again, as I mentioned, kind of unheard of in board games to have an office like this. So we're very, very lucky. Dion, are you leaving? Bye. It hasn't started. Okay, Paya, yell at me when the meeting started and I will leave. All right, chat, since the stream is gonna end imminently, hit me with rapid fire Q&As. If you've got a Q about board games or the board game industry, hit me and I'll probably talk about it for way too long and only get to one question. What's your favorite door? The one that I accidentally locked to Lenny, and that's my new favorite door. One more question. Where would you start looking for artists as a first timer? Online groups. I would put out calls on Twitter, but be careful because the bots will get you. You mention artist in a Twitter post and you will be flooded with DMs from bots. But Reddit is a really great place to look. BGG, boardgamegeek.com if you're not familiar. If you're an up and coming board game designer, you should know BGG. And if you don't, go look it up. Those are really great places. We found at the company I worked for before CGE, we found all of our artists by like trolling on forums and stuff, by looking around. One of the things you can do if you're looking for a very specific art style is find people as opposed to having people come to you. So a lot of times, okay, I'll try to answer this succinctly. I'm so sorry if it's really rambly. So board game artists kind of aren't a thing. There are some who have gone on to be very successful and they make art for board games. Like if you think about like the art that gets done for leader games, like they have a person who does that and that's like their thing. Same with, oh my God, I'm blanking on the people who make the game whose name I'm also forgetting. Oh, thank you for those 100 biddies, Opcos. Quick disclaimer interruption moment here. My moderators have been up since like 5 a.m. their time. It's late in the afternoon for me. It's very early for them. So if you haven't subbed to the channel and you'd like to, or if you have bits floating around in your wallet, all of the money from subscription and bits, it all goes to them. Whenever I come to Prague, they have to work really weird hours. So thank you, Opcos, for supporting them. If anyone else would like to, again, any sort of revenue generating thing that happens on this channel, all of that revenue goes to my moderators to thank them for helping me out. So thank you so much, Opcos. I appreciate it. Thank you for that sub as well. Thank you so much. Itri, good morning. Welcome on in. Thank you, thank you. Okay, real quick to wrap up my advice. The concept of like board game artists don't really exist like, you know, out there. There are some, but it's not like a thing. You know, like a comic artist is a thing. It's not really the same thing in board games. Oh, thank you so much for that follow. They are for the sub. Thank you. The moderators are the best. Thank you for supporting them. So what I would do is find the artist yourself as opposed to necessarily putting out a request for artists, because you might get people, but like if you have a very specific idea in your head of what you want the art for this game to look like for example, I used to work for a smaller board game company called Resonant. We made a game called Mechanica. We wanted a very 1960s retro vibe. So what we did is we went on Pinterest and we just started scrolling through related tags for that type of art style. And this one artist started popping up a bunch in art that we were liking, and we sought her out. And that can also be helpful if you have like kind of budgetary concerns, because a lot of artists, you know, are just making art maybe for Patreon or whatever. If you try to like go for like a board game artist, like fantasy, like Dungeons and Dragons, they're gonna be really, really expensive. But if you find someone who's just kind of indie, kind of just doing their own thing, they might be more within your budget. The one thing you have to be kind of careful for is if you're finding someone who's only ever done digital art, like again, you find someone on Pinterest who you really like, you reach out to them, they're interested in working with you. The one thing you have to be careful about, and this is a pitfall that I actually fell into early on in my career, was reaching out to folks who've never done print work of any kind. Can be a little bit tricky because there are specific things that come with making art for a physical product that don't exist in the digital realm. So you want to be a little bit careful about that. But it's something you can work out. I mean, if it's your first game, there is room for error. It's one of those things you kind of have to pick up as you go. But learning about like bleed and stuff, like, you know, when you make a piece of art, right? This is great, and this spot is awesome. But when you go to print it, the printer might shift. And so you want to make sure that your artist has created bleed, wherein if the printer shifts, you know how like sometimes if you've ever played a board game before, you know, sometimes the art isn't perfectly centered on the token or whatever. That's because things shift around. And that art file has like the coin art here, but then also has this big margin of bleed, wherein if the printer shifts, there's still color on the product that you're making. Did that make sense? So like that kind of thing. If an artist has never done print before, they might not think to add bleed to their files. So that's one thing you want to look out for, but that's kind of what I would do is I would pick, if you have an idea in your head, what style of art, is it high fantasy? Is it quirky? Is it, yeah, give it a buffer zone. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. You want to, if you want to find, that's what I would do. Sorry, my brain is blanking a little bit. I'm still very jet lagged, so I apologize if this isn't as coherent as it could be. But yeah, I would seek someone out and just work together. Especially if it's your first board game and it's their first print product, you will discover things together. You will learn together, and that's some of the favorite art that I have had made for games I've worked on has come literally from finding someone on Pinterest that we really enjoyed, reaching out to them. And yeah. I mean, like if you look at some of Resonim's games, all of those artists we found through this method, and Resonim I still think has some of the most unique and interesting art in the board game world, but I'm biased. I'm biased because I helped with it, but yeah. Bleed on your components crosses up blood and notes. Jamie, I love you. Oh, last thing I'll say about this. You know how I said rapid fire Q&A? The last piece of advice I would give is artists and graphic designers are two different things. Someone who's very good at art might not be good at graphic design. So if you're serious about making a board game and it has any amount of like symbols, so if it's a card game and it has symbols, get a graphic designer in addition to your artist. You might think, hey, I can put numbers on these cards and make it look fine. You can't. Graphic designing is a skill, and it's super important in a board game that your game, you can look at the symbols and it makes sense and it's accessible. All of that stuff is really, really important. I find a lot of first-time board games, like board games from a first-time publisher, skimped on their graphic design, and it makes it really hard to play if it is not a understandable type of graphic design, if that makes sense. Like it has to be coherent and oh my God, Jamie, I love you too. I'm glad this is helpful and it's making some sense. That is I will put a bow on that conversation. This is so Christmassy, oh my God. It's so jingle jangle. Yes, yeah. I would agree. It's like how a UX designer is different than someone who would make, the art for the website. Those are two different skill sets. So do not, hell yeah, Jeremiah, I got you. That is my big pet peeve with first-time board games is bad graphic design. Like I want to play your game, but if your graphic design is bad, I literally can't understand how to play it. Like it's very much an accessible thing where you're creating this game, you're like, I know how this works. Obviously, if I'm a brand new stranger and I've never looked at your game before, if your graphic design isn't coherent, it's a nightmare. It's a bad time. And you'll even see some major board games that have graphic design issues, like from big publishers. So yeah, don't skimp on your graphic design. That's the end of my advice there. Itri, thank you for the 200 bits. I really appreciate it. Also, Mike Sell, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us in chat. I'm sorry I missed you during my artist ramblings. Let me scroll back up. Also, thank you for joining us in chat for the very first time. They say I'm going to be learning and teaching Starship Captains this weekend. It looks really neat. I'm excited to learn and teach it. Thank you so much, first of all, for playing our game, and second of all, for doing the hard work that it takes to teach games to other people. That is how any game becomes popular and successful, as if people who enjoy it are like boots on the ground teaching it to new people. So thank you so much for doing that for Starship Captains. I hope you enjoy it. We do have a Discord. If you have any questions that come up when you go to teach it or learn it, I'm in the Discord. Most of the staff are in the Discord, and also the designer of Starship Captains, Peter Hofgaard, is in the Discord, and he can always answer questions if any arise while you are trying to learn it. And for the love of design, consider consulting a UX designer for your rulebook. Oh my God. I could talk forever about advice for first-time board game designers. Rulebooks. Oh my God. Rulebook. Have someone else look it over, please, dear God. Have someone, okay, most important thing, have someone who has never... Reggie, do I have to be at a meeting now?
We should start.
Okay, flag me down otherwise I'm just gonna keep hanging out, but flag me down when you need me. Yeah, have someone, the most important thing is have someone who doesn't play board games often look at your rulebook, because there can become, oh my goodness, thank you for the follow. Zwamometer, it's nice to meet you. Thanks for that follow. Welcome to the CGE Twitch channel and welcome to the CGE office here in Prague. Feel free to jump in chat and say hey, or just lurk and hang out, whatever you feel like. The biggest thing is having someone who doesn't play board games often look at your rulebook, which can be hard because they will be resistant. They'll be like, I don't play board games. Why would you have me look at this? Because I find that a lot of the time when it's a brand new board game, the speech in the rulebook is very board gamey. You know, there's kind of a language that you learn when you play board games a lot that is not accessible to everybody, and especially if you're trying to create a game that's maybe a medium weight game, have someone look over the rulebook who doesn't play a lot of board games, or it's not going to be successful, because if I open up your rulebook and I can't understand it, I'm not going to play it. And and I play a lot of board games, and you can kind of sniff out sometimes a rulebook that was written by the designer and never looked at by anybody else ever, because there's sort of this pitfall of like writing how to play a game as someone who knows how to play the game really well. You don't always think about what a brand new set of eyes is going to like do with this rulebook, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. No, that's a perfect example. Someone might not know what HP means, and if you play a lot of games and you have that sort of gamer speech in your head, you might not think to explain what that means, or like using very board gamey lingos. You know, even just like saying drafting, like card drafting. You have to explain what that means. You can't just say draft your cards, because not everyone's gonna know what that means, and it's gonna turn off anybody who encounters a term that's not defined. They're gonna leave. We also, last thing I'll say, we have Jason Holt, who does our rule books here at CGE. He's actually in our Discord, and he loves to talk about rulebook stuff. I won't speak on his behalf on like free consulting, but if any like question comes up, we've got folks who can help you out if you're interested. One of the most cozy offices I've ever seen. Oh, Fractaline, good morning, welcome on in. Yes, this office is beautiful and I love it very, very much. I'm glad I get to share it with y'all today. Fractaline, how are you doing? How's your day going? Seems like people are herding in the treehouse. Yeah, I told Reggie to flag me down when it's time. So we're very, very lucky with this office. I don't get it. We've gone around the table, but you're saying we've only taken one turn each and the round isn't over yet. Yep, it's that gamer speech. You just have to, you have to dumb it down as far as it can be dumbed down. Oh my god, one of my friends was trying to explain a drafting game to our friends by saying it's a card drafting game, which in our friend group, I'm the only one who knew what drafting was. Exactly, exactly. Okie doke, I will wrap up and be there in 2 seconds. All right, everybody, it looks like I am being summoned to the grand meeting. This is probably gonna take up the rest of my day, so I probably won't be back, but I will be back tomorrow afternoon sometime, probably at a similar time, I think any earlier, and we start to lose a big chunk of our audience if I'm live at like 3 a.m. Eastern, but I'll probably be live around the same time again tomorrow, doing a similar sort of thing. So if you have more burning questions and stuff you want advice on or things you want to chat about, I will be back here tomorrow, and then after that, I will hopefully, fingers crossed, be live from Czech Gaming. Yes, I'll be there in 1 second. Okay, I have to go, everybody. Thank you for hanging out on stream with me. I really appreciate it. Jason, thank you for that sub. I'm so sorry you're catching us right as we're leaving. Check our Discord. That's where you get the most up-to-date information on when we're going live, if anything has to be canceled. But yeah, I am being summoned, so I'm gonna go. I love you all very much, and I will see y'all later. Bye, everybody.